Maybe you've been thinking about starting a personal chef business, but you're an introvert and the whole thing, talking to people, having to do all the things, it just seems like overwhelming, right? Like it just might be too much. There can be a lot to consider about starting any type of business when you're an introvert, or actually if you're an extrovert too. But when you're thinking about what you really want to do, and if you can actually take a dream and make it all the way into something real, can it work for you or not? So let's take a look at these 6 reasons why a personal chef business can be a great fit if you're an introvert, and see if any of these resonate with you. Hey there, Chef Shelly here. I'm a personal chef. I've had a successful business for over 15 years, and when I'm not cooking for my clients, I help passionate cooks just like you start your own successful personal chef business so you can get paid to do what you love. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to hit subscribe and check the little bell so that you never miss one of my videos. The first reason why a personal chef business might be a great fit for you, even if you're an introvert and you're a little concerned, is most of the time what personal chefs do in this type of business, the number one service is personal chef services, aka also known as meal prep services. This is really different than catering. You don't have to be on in front of a whole bunch of people. You don't have to worry about people coming to you during an event with problems and different things. You don't have to be worried about the volume level, the energy level, or any of that. When you're doing personal chef services, aka meal prep services, you are usually in the client's home, preparing a week's worth of dinners for them, and there is not a cast of thousands around. Oftentimes the client isn't even there at all, and you are able to go at your own space and manage your own energy. Number 2 is kind of that personalized environment, right? You get the creative stimulation still of being able to be in different kitchens and getting that change of scenery, but there's not the chaos of a busy restaurant, or again, the catering scene if you don't want it. Every different client's gonna have a unique setting or kitchen, and it keeps kind of your work environment fresh and interesting without having the energy level being affected. You get to enjoy the calm and personal atmosphere of the home kitchen, which is so much more peaceful than being in a busy commercial kitchen, right? Number 3, control over your workload. When you have your own personal chef business, you can decide how many clients you want to take on, how to manage your workload to avoid burnout, how to keep good work-life balance, how much you can handle for what you want to handle, and this control means that you can start with one client, a couple clients, a few clients, gradually increase as you feel more comfortable, and work into it if you want. But you can also choose just to work part-time, just to have one client, depending on whatever your personal preferences and energy levels are. Number 4, deep focus work. When you work alone, you can concentrate deeply and work, and you get this quieter environment with your personal chef business. When you have this deep focus, it allows you to do everything from perfect your dishes, if that's what you're working on, or ensuring high quality results without distraction when you're working for the client, right? You take your time, you carefully prepare what you need to prepare, whether it's paperwork or cooking, and all this can lead to a much more enjoyable work environment for you. Number 5, meaningful connections, right? The clients that you interact with are going to become long-term relationships when you're doing personal chef services, aka meal prep services, cooking week after week after week for the same client, right? This gives you that sense of fulfillment and also having a community without having constant socializing or even just being surrounded by people all the time. And over time, you get to know your clients more and more. Again, that helps you balance your energy, not get overwhelmed or exhausted. And you also get to dive in deeper and really even start creating meals. You know them so well, you get to serve them on a different level. So these deep, meaningful connections can lead to a loyal client base and just, again, a more rewarding work experience. Number 6, I mentioned this before, limited client interaction. When you're cooking in a client's home doing services like weekly meal prep, there's minimal interaction. A lot of the time they're not even there. You get to focus more on cooking and yourself and not as much on customer service, no entertaining or showing off. Again, this setup lets you concentrate, manage your energy levels, manage your cooking skills, take your time to do the job right without the need for being surrounded by other people and constant socializing. You can have brief discussions with your client about preferences, dietary needs, and things like that, and then you work in a quiet and focused environment. So you're not totally exhausted at the end of your day from people. Number 7, marketing. Let me explain this one. If you are an introvert and you're concerned about starting a personal chef business because you're worried about having to either network in big groups of people or do cooking demonstrations in front of people or have a million salesy conversations with people and that's the only way you could get clients, nothing could be further from the truth. If you need to be careful of your energy level, you can stick to word of mouth referrals. You can work getting clients through online platforms, and there are a million other things you can do to make marketing less overwhelming. Clients that love you and love your food are going to recommend you to their friends, their family, their coworkers. And this really can reduce the need for aggressive marketing like network groups and other things like that if you don't want to do that. Online platforms, again, like social media, whether you're just having conversations in Messenger from someone you met in a Facebook group that was local, or there are even personal chef directories online that you can get referrals from. And this can, again, help you even replace or at the very least balance out some of those other things that you might want to do or maybe even push yourself a little bit to do. So speaking of all this, there are a ton of different marketing things you can do without making you feel like you're gonna die. And plus, here is my number 1 little secret to being an introvert, having a personal chef service, and getting clients. Believe it or not, it is a lot easier to get a new client when you're talking to someone and you let them do 99% of the talking. Seriously, people think that it's about telling them everything, explaining everything to them, and giving them an overwhelming amount of information so that they will hire you. But really, 99% of it is listening to what they want and what they need. And that is a lot easier for introverts than it is for extroverts. So if you're an introvert who's passionate about cooking and you're worried that having your own business might be too much, there are a lot of things like the quiet cooking environment of a client's kitchen, being in control of your own schedule, marketing in a way that supports you and doesn't exhaust you, that can totally be personalized for you to help you have a business that you love being a personal chef. Being an introvert can actually be one of your biggest strengths. Again, like when you're listening to prospective clients instead of talking at them. If this sounds like it might be a great fit for you, you love to cook and you'd love to get paid to do it for clients, you can download my free guide on how to do meal prep services for clients. Try it out on your own, see if you like it, then do it for a friend or a family member. You might find that this is the perfect fit if you're an introvert, or even if you're not, because the clients are out there and they're hungry for what you're cooking, not for what you're talking about.